Excuse me, what time is it?
It's real story time. With your boy Artwell.
All right. I'm just trying to spice it up a little bit. You know, like Mr. Dolomite said. The words of the bad Mr. Dolomite. So it's like the early to mid 80s, you know, at my grandmother's house, hanging out with Andre Alive. You know, we're writing all the raps we can. Started meeting some of Leon's friends. You know, I met these two characters. Let's call them Lenny and Barry. One was a drummer, one was a bass player. It was the only people that I have known up until that point with instruments. And so Leon used to follow them around, like carrying speakers and you know, plugging them in, then taking them away after the show. And then wherever, after they done their whack ass show, they might have went to a hotel or somebody's basement, and he would give them accolades that they didn't deserve. Like, man, y'all got to be the baddest motherfuckers that ever come from the city of Cincinnati. I ain't lying. Maybe even the tri-state region. Fuck it, the world, baby, the world. Ain't that right, Bird? Like, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Not listening to that. These guys, they could play the instruments. They can mimic shit real good. And then when like 1999 came out, they took their level of whackness to a plateau that I didn't even know existed. You know, they're wearing spandex and half shirts with no sleeves, but buttons and bows in the back, and trench coats, lace headbands, eyeliner, singing terrible songs. They're terrible original songs. The only thing worse than the songs, the actual songs, was the titles. Like they had some shit called Wild and Freakiful, No Curl, No Girl. They had a rip off of Little Red Corvette called Hot Pink Toyota or some shit like that. But the worst one was this song called Activation, and it was about how to keep your jerry curl moist. And so they gave Leon the tape of this shit, and he sit down in the chair, you know, eating the burger and shit, listening to it, loving it. He looks at me and he was like, "Man, how you like it?" I said, "I don't like it. Shit sucks." And I thought it was bad when I asked for a burger and he went off. This was 1,000 times worse. He was like, "What you know about music anyway? You stupid. And so is your stupid friend Andre. You guys walking devastating lovers my ass. You're walking around here rapping. Rap's not even going to be here next year. But you know what's going to be here next year? The Jerry Curl. That's why this music is timeless and classic. Like I said, you're stupid." And so then my Uncle Joe sticks his head from around the corner like, what's all this noise? Is the police here? And he was like, "No, Bird's just being stupid again." And Uncle Joe's like, "Surprise, surprise, what's new?" And he seen Leon was upset, and he was like, "Well, Lee, I got something that probably could make you feel a little better." He reached into his pocket. He pulled out a crack pipe with a bag of rocks. They scurry off to the basement and shit. Probably getting higher than they ever been, but not as high as they wish they was and shit. I don't know. I didn't go down there. This shit went on for years with them, and I moved back with my mother sometime in all those years. And I went over to my grandparents' house to thank them for their love and their understanding and to apologize for my actions. And so I went over there, and once that was accomplished, I asked my grandmother, I said, "Where's Leon?" She said, "He's down in the basement with Uncle Joe." I'm like, "Damn, still?" So I go down there like it's a fucking cloud of smoke. I go through the smoke and I see them, and they are looking rough. The only thing drier than my Uncle Joe's lips was Leon's curl. But the ironic thing about this shit is that they were listening to some outdated updates of No Curl, No Curl, and Activation. What the fuck is going on?